In the 100 TV series, Lexa is the domineering commander of the Grounders with an aggressive and dystopian hairstyle to match. The tutorial for how to do this impressive look is coming up. Lexa doesn't wear any complicated braids, but the crux of this style is all the detailing and texture on top and in the back. Warning you now, there is more potential for hair breakage in this compared to some of my other videos, so if your hair is particularly fine and delicate, you may want to avoid this style, or at least avoid the teasing and heat styling. But if you're game to try it, there are several tools to use that will be super helpful. You'll need some small clear hair elastics and a comb or brush for teasing. Then, some hair beads are great for detailing the hair lattice in the back, or at least some thick hair bands. A crimping iron is also good for adding texture and density. Finally, since there's so much volume going on in this style, some dedicated volumizing products will go a long way. I'll be using the Dare to Play hairspray from Naturel's Volumax line. If you have a blow dryer, you can also prep your hair with mousse and volume gel to give your roots as much lift as possible. To start the style, section off a panel of hair on top of your head between the corners of your forehead and between your front hairline and about 2/3 of the way back towards your crown. Tie the rest of the hair out of the way for now to keep it separate. Now brush your top panel forward. Splitting off a line of hair from the back, tease the base of the section with short, quick strokes. Now spritz it with the volumizing hairspray, which preserves the volume you've just created for as long as you wear the hairstyle. Lay this section back and then split off another line of hair in front of it. Also tease this section and hairspray the roots. Now there's enough hair left for 2 more lines. We're going to tease these as well, but then we're also going to make the dread-like twists that go over the top of Lexa's head. So section off one line and then split it in half. Tease the entire length of this hair for volume all the way down to the ends. Spritz with hairspray, twist the section, and lay back across the top of your head and hold in place with a clip for now. Tease, spray, and twist the other half as well. With the last line of hair, repeat this so that in the end you have a total of 4 twists. This poof on top is really important to the aesthetic of the style, so make sure it has as much volume as you can give it. For the second part of this hairstyle, grab sections of hair from both sides of your head. Unlike up top, brush these as smooth as possible. Then bring them together up high and right behind the teased section. Tie these together with a small hair elastic. Split this ponytail in half, bring both halves around the sides of the teased hair, and tie them together again on top so that the teased hair is held together. This is the first node in our hair lattice, so grab your first hair bead and slide it onto the section of hair and over the top of the hair elastic. My preferred way of doing this is twisting the section a bit, wetting the ends of the section to hold them together, and then feeding the ends through the bead and sliding the bead up. If the bead is slightly too large to stay in place, I'll also hook it with a bobby pin underneath the ponytail and push the pin in so that it's hidden but holds the bead up. Now for some more texture. Heat up your crimping iron and squeeze this ponytail between the blades for a few seconds. Slide it down the ponytail and squeeze again. Keep progressing down the length of the ponytail doing this. Once the hair is all crimped, if you finger comb through it a bit to break up the crimped pattern, you'll have much more volume and some edgy texture like Lexa has. Side note, this is a great way to get thicker braids if you don't have enough hair for certain styles. Next, we'll make 2 more nodes for the hair lattice. Right behind the smooth section of hair, pick up a new chunk of hair and ponytail this with a clear plastic elastic right at the roots. I'm specifying the cheap disposable kind, because hair elastics right at the scalp like this are really prone to pulling out hairs if you try to slide them out afterwards. So to avoid that, I will snip them with scissors to get them out safely, and it's not such a big deal to do this with cheap elastics. When you've got this section tied up, slide on another bead and crimp the hair. Repeat with a ponytail in the same place on the other side of your head. Create the next tier of hair lattice by splitting the middle section in 2 and tying the left half to the left ponytail and the right half to the right ponytail. Make sure these elastics are at the same height and then put on more beads. To finish off the lattice, tie these 2 remaining tails together. I ran out of beads that were big enough at this point, so I just used a black hair elastic, but you get the gist of it. Part 3 is some braiding. On the left side of your head, start a small Dutch braid right behind your ear, add in new hair for just a couple stitches, and then braid normally the rest of the way to the ends. Also braid the remaining tail from the hair lattice. See how thick that crimping made the braid look? Anyways, now tie these two braids together just below the level of your left shoulder and undo any braiding below this tie. Finally, Lexa has a few small accent braids coming out from underneath her hair. So grab some sections of hair from the nape of your neck and braid these down to the ends. If you make these rather small, you don't even need to put elastic on the ends to hold them together because the friction of your hair will do that for you. And with that, you've finished Lexa's Grounder Commander hairstyle. It's quite a project to do, but in the end looks big, edgy, and eye-catching. For more hairstyles from the 100 and other fantasy or sci-fi shows, check out my YouTube channel, Silvousplaits. This video was graciously sponsored by Natural, so if you're interested in the volumizing products I showed you, you can check them out at the link I put in the description box. Thanks for watching and happy styling!